speaking of that, it was two girls at HCI. One of them, people thought I was banging.
All right, we're live now, so.
Oh, okay, I calmed that part down.
I think I know who you're talking about.
It's fine.
The blonde one? The blonde?
Who?
Blonde?
No.
No?
She,
okay.
She was black. Well, actually, both were black.
Okay.
One of them I didn't like. She liked me. The other one, we played around too much.
Did you?
And I found out. And then I found out she had a boyfriend.
Then you try to take him?
What, Steve?
All right. Where's the link? Is it the main channel?
Yeah, Bearded Kingdom. Yeah. You can just share that for tonight.
Right.
I enabled the other one, so we should be able to go live on that after 24 hours.
Sounds good. All right. Steve's smashing the noodles. Dan's getting the link up. So, Dan, you want to kick off? Or you want to?
Yeah. What do we got to kick off with?
All I know.
Everybody.
Which way do we want to go? Which way do we want to go?
All I know is the Atlanta Braves are one game away from clinching the NL East. How you feel, Dre?
First and foremost, the Mets had the best record in like 40 plus years, and they still fumble the ball to the Braves. Because every year since I've been a Mets fan, which was 1997, before I started junior high school, I've been let down by the Mets after the All-Star break. I don't know what it is. It's like All-Star break gets in, the Mets are doing well, and we end up fumbling the ball, and we suck. This year, by September, I was like, okay, the Braves took over, but we took it back. So I'm like, maybe the Mets gonna pull it off. Our pitching, all the guys came back from injury. We're gonna take it.
Hey, y'all took it.
Swept. We got swept. Shut up, Steve. Not like that. We got swept by the dang on Braves. And we failed. And I'm like, see, we still playoff bound. But at the same time, it's ridiculous. We should have took over the NL East. But as a Mets fan, I'm disappointed.
You're wild card. Hold on. You're wild card bound. You ain't in the playoffs yet, bro.
Dude, wild card is playoffs. All right, be quiet. I'll take that. Because, any other year, the Mets not even close near a wild card. So I'll take that.
Yeah.
But the Braves cheated. They on steroids.
They did not. Stop it. That's Barry Bonds.
Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, Bonds. Shoot, everybody in the 90s and the 2000s were on steroids.
I know, it's awesome.
All of them.
Hockey season's kicking off, man. It's great. It's a great time of year.
Go Sabres.
I want to take my oldest daughter, to a staff game this year. Never been.
You should. It's the greatest.
But I want to get into it. And she wants to go to see the game. So I'm like, yeah, why not?
Yeah. It's the greatest live sports game you're ever going to go to.
That's what I've heard. I've seen, obviously on TV and whatever, and it looks pretty darn good. Here's the thing: I don't know anything about where the best place to sit would be. Again, remember, I'm not into sports. Obviously, closer is probably better, but like where? Like is it like a football game? Like, what do you do?
I like sitting up top. I like sitting so I can see everything. Because
Really?
if you're too low, the glass is in your way, and you miss stuff. So if you get like center, where you can see both nets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Not midway up.
Thanks, Derek. Thanks for stopping by, buddy.
Normally, I went to the Sabres and Hurricanes game, Carolina Hurricanes versus the Sabres, and I sat center ice, what Steve was alluding to, halfway. Center ice, maybe 7 rows back.
Okay.
Perfect. And those tickets were $35 because both teams was trash when I went to go see them play. So that's why they were $35. And that's why I was so close to the
train ride up there. Then honestly, it might be worth the train ride a little bit farther north. Than.
Okay. Hey man, I mean, you got the Capitals right there.
The Caps are pretty expensive right now, right? Because they've had a 2 really good years.
I mean, the Capitals always had a good team for outside the last 15 seasons. So those tickets are going to be up there. The Sabres have been letting me down since 2012 again. So, yeah, it's all good.
All right.
Hey, man.
Train ride to Buffalo. There we go.
Sabres suck.
Look, man. My first hockey game, to your point, Dan, before we kick off, really was the New Jersey Devils.
Okay.
They played the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I was in the I was not 6 years old. Sorry, I was in the 6th grade. I was 12, and that's when I got hooked to hockey. That was my moment. I got hooked to hockey.
Okay.
Even though we were nosebleeds, it was a fun experience.
Yeah.
It's a fun experience.
All right.
Tell everybody, don't sleep on live hockey, man. Don't sleep. Because
I'm always better than baseball. We're going to a baseball game. And we actually ended up going to quite a few this year. The first one we went to, we're in like the end of the 4th inning, or second half, probably of the 4th. When is the game gonna start? I'm like, oh, okay. Gotta walk you through it a little bit more. I see.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's I love it. It's the greatest sport ever.
Cool. All right, what do we want to start with?
I don't know. What do you want to start with, Dan?
Kick off, bro.
I mean, see,
I don't know. Here's the thing. Do we start with financial markets, which are very, very similar to 2008? We probably have a Lehman-style event coming in the next week. Probably by the end of this week, frankly.
I mean, I don't.
Or do we want to start with Europe and Ukraine and Russia and Vladimir Putin?
I mean,
Where do we want to go?
I don't know. You threatened to kick me out of the podcast, so I mean, I don't know. We want.
No, Ukraine are going to start the double D. That's what we're going to call it, the double D.
Oh,
That doesn't do it to me.
I mean,
Whatever. Anyway.
it was hurtful.
So we're the lack of response, you know? So
Whatever. There's always response.
like 3 days later. Come on, man.
But it wasn't on the day that we said we were going to do it on.
Fair.
Yeah, not.
We never.
I mean, not like some people where we plan it and then we get a message that night and go, "Hey, sorry guys, today took longer than expected."
I'm tired.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
yeah.
Damn.
Oh god. Yeah. No. Anyways. No. All right. So let's start with financial markets. Right. We'll put everybody to sleep and see what kind of audience we have left. So.
Oh, I shared you the link, by the way.
Long story short, Lehman Brothers got in trouble and back in 2008. Really, it wasn't their doing. We had a very similar financial environment as we do today. Basically, the federal government kind of screwed things up and then threw their hands up and said, well, it's not our problem now. And so Lehman, Bear Stearns, others were allowed to fail. Lehman was the largest of the failures at that time. Of course, Merrill Lynch and others had to be backstopped and essentially forced to become part of larger entities, in that case, Bank of America. What's happening now, though, is our Federal Reserve here has managed rates for years. I remember when I was head of lending at a financial institution back in 2018, I guess it was, and they were just beginning to raise rates after the Great Recession from essentially when we were graduating college, believe it or not. Being very excited because we could finally, get a decent spread on our funds. 2019 rolls around and or rather, I guess, getting into 2018 rolls around, they cut rates. Long story short, of course, they just started to raise again very, very slowly when COVID hit. And then took that to zero and kept it at zero through 21 and most of 2022, or at least the first part of 2022. The issue is we've not had a normal rate environment since we entered the workforce, honestly. So what has happened, our Federal Reserve here has raised rates drastically, which they should have done a little bit more gradually years ago, at least begun that process years ago. So the problem is a lot of institutions like Credit Suisse are now getting squeezed, and they don't have enough capital. What they're trying to do now, and this is what to me is so reminiscent of 2008, they are trying to take all of the parts of the bank that are now suddenly essentially at risk of going over this cliff of failure, and they're literally calling it, and their internal documents, they're literally talking about spinning off a bad bank that contains all of these bad assets, which I don't blame them. If I was in their shoes, I mean, that's really your only option. The thing is, they're out of time, so they'll fail. It'll be shocking if they don't fail probably this week. the thing about it is that's going to set off a 2008 style financial crisis because credit markets will seize up. You're going to see very large declines in most major stock markets worldwide. I mean, here in the U.S., the Dow was down, I think, about 9% in September. So I think you'll see those losses accelerate. So obviously, we're in a recession. I think we already know that. The problem is our Federal Reserve has bought their handling of the rate environment for the past really 15 or so years. And so it's, unfortunately, now it's time to pay the piper. And that's what we're seeing today. So it's going to be a rough, probably 12 to 18 months from here on out. And it's going to feel for a lot of us a lot like 2008. That's my potential news update. Really not more to add. I mean, I think I could paint an even more dire picture because there are certainly intricacies to it. I'm not sure that inflation will come under control anytime soon.
So pretty much just bury all your money and stop.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for folks our age who probably won't retire for another 15, 20 years or won't need to use a large sum of our money.
You're talking about people our age, Dan? Dre, he's got about 10 more years.
Probably still won't can't buy life insurance anymore, man. But no, because I think people in our generation are going to be okay. This is actually the time to double down and take advantage of opportunities to buy any kind of asset. Real estate will come down. I would not buy real estate yet. It's still way too expensive.
That's going to plummet.
It is, and I laugh at the people who insist it won't. I laugh at them.
It doesn't.
A realtor.
It doesn't have a choice.
5 or 6 years younger than me got into the real estate business 2 years ago, and I told her at the time, I was like, "Look, it is great that you are so excited about this." I said, "But you need to build a solid business, and you probably need something to fall back on." I said, "Because the real estate market moves in a waves, always has." I said, and I used the example of 2008. I said, "I know tons of realtors who got out of the business then. I know tons of people who lost their shirt on the houses they owned, investment property, whatever, because this person got big into flips too." And I said, at some point, it's like, when we were kids, what is it, musical chairs? At some point, or hot potato, anything like that, at some point, you're left on the outside looking in when you get into flipping and all that crap, especially at the top of the market. So, anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna plummet again. It doesn't have a choice. Like there's just everything's too high right now.
Yeah. And nothing has shown any signs of coming down. If you look at food, you look at housing, none of that has really come down at all. Energy has, which is great, but that's just one part of the equation.
Well, as far as the fuel, isn't that because the taxes that the state and the federal government when they say they're going to stop adding tax for like 2 or 3 months to help the consumer out, is it because of that? That's why the gas prices fluctuates, or are they still stabbing off that tax?
They lie.
No, so part of it is demand fell. Demand started to soften about midway through the summer, so it was not related to the end of summer. Demand has fallen as people become cash strapped. So that's part of it. The other part of it is with rates rising, it's almost the anticipation of us entering a global recession, which we are.
We just in a recession, correct. But not to keep going on with the finance talk, but as far as the fuel prices, I know Steve said that they still are taxing the fuels, and the demand has plummeted. I think for gas anyway, it's been, from what I've seen on the charts, it has been kind of like even. Nothing spiked, nothing dropped, and the only thing that really spiked were the prices.
Yeah, so we had some declines until probably about 6 weeks ago. Gas prices declined every week for probably, I don't know, a good 7, 8 weeks leading up to that point, and then you're exactly right, it kind of plateaued, and it hasn't really increased or decreased since then, and that's because demand is still elevated. We've reached this point of equilibrium for now between supply and demand. What's going to be interesting is this winter. Yeah. Because now Europe doesn't even have access to the Nord Stream 1 pipeline.
Why?
You're going to see a lot of death because of Russia, or somebody, Russia, what's the word I'm looking for? Essentially, set off detonations at two separate points along the pipeline. So not only is it damaged, but it's actually spewing all this oil into the ocean right now.
Wow, nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Wow. It's kind of like we had someone get on stage and say that pipeline will not affect Europe. And they were asked the question, how? And how's it going to be done? And he went, I can't really say. It's pretty crazy how, someone in our country said that.
Oh, no. It actually, I don't think it was us. I legitimately don't think it was us. I don't believe it was us. I do believe it was Russia. And that's not me saying that. That's the German intelligence has said that what they've seen. And Dre, you might be able to shed more light on this. But what they've seen thus far indicates that it is Russia. There were Russian ships in the vicinity, I think 3 days prior. So essentially, they sabotaged it by laying explosives with some kind of time delay.
So they destroyed their own pipeline?
They destroyed their own pipeline like Iraq did in the first Iraqi war in the 90s. That's how the Americans left.
That's
put it into that context.
But isn't the South pipeline that goes to Germany still intact?
Good question.
This is that one.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, this is that one.
But just put it in that context. It may sound confusing, but remember the Iraqis destroyed their own stuff in the early 90s to get the Americans out of there.
All right, so
put that into that context. It's all a financial move.
All right, Vladimir
Putin's crazy
not a rational. He ain't crazy. He's a lunatic.
We wanted to take over the world. We wouldn't be blowing up our own shit because we realized we need to sell that oil in order to keep revenue flowing. He is so unhinged right now that it's inconceivable to him.
All right, so what you're saying is he blew up a pipeline.
Right.
And winter's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's going to try to strong arm the countries who need the oil into turning on Ukraine.
It will literally starve and freeze most of Europe, particularly developed Europe, like Germany. Germany's going to be the hardest hit. It's going to be very cold there. They're already, even before this, countries like Germany were already having their manufacturers see, a good 60-70% of their normal production of, whatever cars, food, processed food, whatever the case may be. Unless this thing is resolved within the next few weeks, it's going to be a very, very, very bad winter for Western Europe.
But there's got to be a pipeline from west to east.
Nope. Because the U.S. lobbied Europe, in the 90s, the early 2000s, to normalize relations with Russia. And one of the big ways to do that was to essentially have Russia as their only source of oil. And I'm not saying that the U.S. is at fault here, because Russia also pretended to be something, that it wasn't, which we should have picked up on, that Europe. But here we sit.
Okay. But overall, natural gas, that's going to go up. Because
Natural gas is the one that shot up, and it has not come down. It won't. Because what we're doing is we're going to ship about 20% of our nat gas over to Europe, which will only cover about 5 to 10% of their actual needs. So again, when I say they're in dire straits, they are in dire straits over there. They will not have an easy winter. Which is absurd, sitting here, almost mid 21st century, that we're going to have mass death from freezing conditions. Like, it just doesn't. It's not a good place. It's not a good place.
And it's insane that again, I'm not a financier by any means, but I do look at the market because of investments, and natural gas has been spiking. And I tell people that's going to affect the grid, that's going to affect other costs. It's a trickle down effect. Thank Reagan. It's like everything. And so I'm not speaking doom and gloom. We just have to be privy of what's going on.
How
and
dare you
don't care.
Talk about Reagan.
Exactly. Right, because the thing is, this is the situation, and then the question is, what are you going to do about it? Because you're exactly right. You're in Virginia, Dominion, in my area of Virginia, Dominion, of course, is our utility. They took a 15% increase. And that was twofold. One was to pay for natural gas, but the other was to pay for their offshore wind farm, which I'm all about renewable energy. But now it feels like I've just been told to come over and touch my toes. 50% is absurd. It's absurd. So,
Just if you think that's something, wait until the DOE comes out with their regulations. And I tell people that all the time. Just wait, it's coming. Just wait.
and pardon me for using that crude language, but people are getting further fucked when they look at something like solar now, because with rates increasing, I mean, most people can't pay cash for solar. So you've got to count on, for a like 1,800 square foot house, if you're going to pay cash, your price is about 40K to 80K. Depends upon what you want, what features you want, and so on and so forth. But the thing about it is, most people finance. And what they don't realize is when you finance a solar project, the solar financing companies, they're still advertising rates as low as like 2.99%, but they're also adding dealer fees. And those dealer fees on a $40,000 deal, at this point in time, they've increased to make up for the financing deficit while rates rise. Those fees average about $15,000 now additional on a $40,000 project. So now you're financing $55,000 on a $40,000 project over 25 years.
Fuck that.
Your ROI looks terrible at this point.
I closed my solar business for that reason. I just closed it a few weeks ago because I said, this is not, like, it's not morally right. Like, and one, people aren't saving. Two, I mean, if you really care about the environment, wait till you have cash, or what I counsel people is take out a home equity loan. It's going to be better for you. Do not take out a solar loan. But that's the thing, like, even if you're fed up with high energy prices with a traditional utility, right now, to choose some alternative method of power generation at your house or even your business, the costs have become untenable because there's tremendous greed in the market, which is another indicator of a massive recession to clean the crap out of the system. And there's a ton of crap in the system like this right now.
And I think that with the price increases, they're forcing people to force their hands to do something more so for their businesses as far as energy spikes and stuff like that. But that's still wrong morally.
Ooh.
And I'm all for renewable energy and stuff like that, but that's wrong.
Dan's drinking renewable energy. What do you got there, Dan?
This episode is sponsored by Woodford Reserve.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, old bougie Caucasian.
But next up, all right, on the lighter things, Steve's favorite topic is politics.
No,
so Steve,
no, it's not.
It is.
No. I hate politics. Ask my wife.
His top three favorite players.
How much do I hate politics?
Why are you yelling at
Because
me?
it's just the headphones. There's the sound canceling.
No,
How-
you
how-
do not hate politics.
How much do I hate politics?
You don't.
Oh, okay.
We heard it. It wasn't
Yeah.
canceled. We heard it. Yeah.
No, I love politics. What? Did I just mute myself? I did.
Does he know he muted?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Not sure what just happened. I must hit the space bar. Let me move the. So.
what you got?
It's funny. So it's kids are so innocent, and like they're watching YouTube and like all the politics commercials are coming on, and like
It's voting season, man.
huh?
Abigail Hamburger.
Yeah, my kids get so annoyed with Abigail Spanberger. They're like, oh God.
How is that showing up on the kids channel?
You tell me. They're like, oh, we got to sit here and wait through this again. She doesn't do anything for us. I'm like, oh. All she does is waste our time. I was like, oh my
Steve,
God.
What are you teaching your kids about Abigail Spanberger? I don't know anything about Virginia politics since I moved. So what has she done for you guys?
She pretty much votes the party line. Like,
Okay.
I mean, she hasn't been bad, but she hasn't been good either.
She's not bad. She's not one who's going to stand up and do something different, but she's not been detrimental. What I love about most of the folks in Virginia politics, whether they're Republican or Democrat, they tend to walk the middle of the road fairly well. I think that's something we've maintained here that you might remember from your time here. You can regional, nutty
On the
person
on the state level, yes. Because the funny thing is about on the state level, like they know they can be. I mean, they can be politically crucified with saying
I don't, and I would, I definitely like her. I don't think she's going to win this year. I think Sentiment has things. I don't think it's due to anything she has or hasn't done, but I think Sentiment, has shifted, and I think it's going to be very hard for her to win.
I think the red wave is going to sweep again, and it's just
unfortunately,
and it's a lot of the politicians have gotten away from Trump, which has been good because, I mean. What I would love to see is Tulsi Gabbard and DeSantis on the same ballot, on the same side, where you have a Democrat and a Republican together. Just saying.
I don't think DeSantis is going to get any favors based on
he gonna get the push.
He from certain people.
Other
people.
He gonna get that push. He's going to
get that push, but
he's gonna get the push.
I mean, but
you got to
speaking
get
of
the push from wealthy Republican donors.
Well, that's very true. But he is he will tell you exactly how he feels, and he doesn't hold back. Like he's not like full-fledged douchebag about it. Like he is. I'm a Floridian. This is where I'm from. This is what we want. This is how we live. This is how it's going to be. It's a lot like Texas. And he definitely just does not take any shit at all. It's pretty crazy.
How is he not taking shit?
I mean,
sold out in front of it. How has he not taken shit?
I mean, like during like his interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
Like whenever they're trying to spin something, he's like, "This is not a time for politics." He said, "This is the time for the people."
That's the problem. He's a weasel because it's time for politics when he wants it to be, like shipping people up to Martha's Vineyard. But then suddenly, if somebody wants to talk about that, well, this isn't the time for politics.
That was funny.
Because I'm freaking understanding.
But sending people to the vineyard, but Dan, I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this. Possibly don't care. But sending migrants to the vineyard, to me, from someone that lives around it, I'm not a DeSantis fan. Let me make that first and foremost clear. We talked about this even off camera. Yeah. But sending migrants to the vineyard, why not? These rich people talk this roughness.
Here's the thing. If it started and stopped there, absolutely. The problem for me is the way he handled it. He literally lied to the people. I think that's where he crossed the line, and it's the holier than thou act that comes after it. To me, there's nothing wrong with saying, look, we don't feel like our state is equipped to handle this, you guys. We've got people coming over on rafts and every other frickin' thing. We can't handle it.
No state is equipped.
Send a busload here. We didn't lie to them. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. It was the fact that he made it political. He should have made it about, this is what I'm doing to help Florida, and he didn't.
Well, to Steve's point, there is no space. You can challenge me on that.
Right.
There is no space. But the space is located with most rich people where they stay. Yeah. I don't think 50 migrants is going to hurt the vineyard. Now, granted, I agree with you because you lied to the people. Yeah. But sending them to the rich people, because they talk the most. Who talk the most recklessness when it comes to politics? Rich people, right? They get on this news. They talk all this trash. They get like 50 houses to. Yeah. But the rich people, most of them anyway, got 50 houses to one person. That's more than enough space for a migrant to stay to get their citizen status. So instead of
why are you getting so fired up right now?
I'm hyped. I'm always hyped, man.
I mean, you got that vein popping out right on your neck.
Hey, you're looking too hard, homie. All right, chill out. Anyway,
calm down.
But no, man. But if you live around it, I can see why he did that. But lying to the people, I don't like that.
100%. No, I agree with that.
I don't disagree.
More his style. He does not give a shit about people. All he cares about is the Ron or whatever the hell his name is, DeSantis brand. That's all he cares about. And that's where I take it.
Hold on.
We were talking about that on camera. All politicians are essentially narcissists.
I think that annoys me more than anything is all of these politicians now, they're all worried about their brand. Like, instead of just being politics. It's
Just being a good person. Help the people. For crying out loud. Just help the freaking people.
Hey, we can't help the people. We can't afford it, but we're about to send Ukraine $12 billion more.
or
But
Look that up.
we could just have someone in office who just would just sit there and talk just about the the things and but that
Does he think you know?
what?
Right. Like, can you please turn around and shake hands with the invisible guy standing behind you?
But to that point, man, I've had talks with my brother about this. I will vote myself again for presidency of the United States, and I would just stay in the bunker my entire presidency. And jokes aside, because I'm for the people. Yes, I know my lineage for my family, and I just learned more about my grandfather. But my thing is, I was born in America, so you got to take care of the people first. The backbone of the economy is the middle class. It is what it is. We have to take care.
Where were you from?
Originally, or my family, because I got a lot of.
No, go ahead. Break some of it down.
So back in 2010, we did a
That's not
lineage.
Okay.
Huh?
I thought you were just gonna start in 2010. I was like, dude, that's
No.
not really that far back. I mean,
Son, stop.
let's get to like 1800s.
All right, hold on. I don't know the exact dates, man. All I know is we did the whole swab, all that craziness. We didn't do that 23andMe, whatever that thing is called. We actually went to a laboratory in Washington D.C. The scientists, all that craziness.
That's cool.
We used my great aunt and somebody else as a baseline. So we figured out from this side of the family, for parts of Africa where our family came from. And we even got the Europeans mixed in there as well. I just found out around 2012 that my grandfather was related to Native Americans from Wyoming to, I forget the other state, and he related to Polynesians. So, from New Zealand.
Wow.
Yes. Polynesians. That's most of the Westerners came from. So, hence this is for my grandfather. So, that being said, I know my lineage to this country. Now, granted, I was born here. I wasn't born in Africa. I wasn't born in New Zealand. I was born in this good old state, as my mom called it, Georgia. That's where I'm from.
You weren't born in Jersey. You weren't born in Jersey.
I'm the only one that wasn't born in Jersey. I was born in the South.
I never knew that. Never knew that.
I was born in the South. And so, that being said, I will be in a bunker for my entire presidency. I'm not playing, because the stuff I would like to do, I will executive order everything. I know it's going to get kicked back. I'm going to fight them anyway. I don't care. Nothing will get done, because we have to do for the people. And I'm not saying that we can't do for other countries. What I'm saying is most of the money we send to other countries are nothing more than investments. It's not nothing to help the people, because their people aren't getting the money. It's the people up top getting the money. Their people not getting the money.
Well, Ukraine.
But my biggest...
I would agree with that, except for in Ukraine. I would agree with that. I think Ukraine is a special situation right now.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Well, hey, hold on. First of all, I don't agree with sending countries any money whatsoever unless it's going to be paid back. Period.
But, I mean, we sending money to other countries.
Now, I can understand if it's a...
Right, is it time for me to pull out my government-funded studies? Can we do a segment?
Now,
crowd, pull it out. While Steve is talking, you pull that up.
Now, I can understand if it's a third world country and they need help to build and get and grow. But if you're not a third world country, you don't need our money.
I got some breaking news. I'm going to let you finish.
I mean,
no, seriously, North Korea apparently fired a missile over Japan.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hey, our vice president, who I did vote for, said that North Korea is our ally.
It gets confusing.
I'm like, come on, man. Like, no.
That's a basic one. You can imagine. Anyway, yeah, that just happened. All right, carry on, Steve. Breaking news.
So, North Korea, who was dormant, who was quiet, who was told to shut up by the Chinese, have now shot a missile over Japan. Oh.
Well, no, come on. We stirred them up 5 years ago. That was us. That was our fault.
Where'd y'all go?
We wanted, again, talking about the politicians' personal brands, we wanted a damn photo op and all that crap, remember?
What happened? Dan, you're frozen. Oh, no.
We lost Dan. Hopefully he'll get back in
He'll be all right.
because I really want him to read up as of I think a week ago government spending. But what you were saying about North Korea and Japan.
No, I you know, I see America as a business, and if people are asking for our services, we should get paid.
We're not. We're technically the slaves of America
Government.
financially.
I like how Dan was getting ready to read something, and he got kicked off. The government's like, "Nah, you don't need to read this."
Right, we're not doing this today.
No, sorry, Dan. Oh, no.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's gone. Oh, there he is. He's trying to knock on
Ebony,
the door.
Ivory.
Stop it. But I just find it hilarious that people are in an uproar whenever someone like, you know, a certain person that you're told to like says some things in the news and they mean it. Now they're living in their truth, but a person you're told not to like says somewhat of the same, they get roasted. The biasness is crazy, man. That's why I call it the go along, get along game. Because you're just going along to get along. And even with politics, who I've been around for a couple of years, they're all the same to you what you're saying. It's all a business, man. Because I tell these cats all the time, on TV they argue, but they go to the same parties, they have the same fundraisers, they're boning each other. It's nothing new. And Dan is really not connecting. He's really having issues.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. I think your son was trying to wave at everybody. But yeah. So come on, Dan, hurry up. There he goes. You got
There you go, Dan.
Dan got the cheap internet.
No, I wish it were cheap.
It's that libertarian internet.
We just strung some wires, actually.
So what were you getting ready to read, Dan?
What was I getting? Oh, okay. All right, we're there now. See, I missed some of the discussion. I didn't know where we were. All right.
So Dre said that he hates Americans, and
Wait, what?
we were curious
Please,
on
our guns are religion, Dre, is that it?
we were curious on how much America spent. That way Dre can hate it even more.
Well,
Yeah.
the great start encouraging because this was an offline conversation we had. But I've got to share it. Okay, so these are the things your federal government pays for, which to me are a little bit more problematic than sending money to the Ukrainian.
Our?
So the U.S.
Hey,
Air Force.
where's your source? Before you say that, where's your source? Like, give people where you got this information from.
So lots of different places.
The Onion.
Let's see. Let's pull this one from Insider because that's
Insider? Okay.
I've independently verified the other ones, but like this site I've never heard of. So I don't. While the info on it has been independently verified, I don't want to throw it out there and say this is the Erie Tiger Times is my source. Even though it's all been. But here we go. This is Insider, which is Henry Blodgett, obviously reputable in terms of their research, anyways. Let's see. All right, these are less outrageous, though. Well, here we go. Taxpayer-funded summer camp for adults. The National Endowment for the Arts needs taxpayer money to fund a summer camp for adult artists and scientists investigating the issues surrounding climate change. In July 2017, attendees spent 2 weeks focused on climate change communication, which was followed by another 2-week session entitled Art, Science, and Cultural Terrain. Oh, Jesus. A trolley renovation for over $1 billion. The U.S. Department of Transportation awarded $1.04 billion to expand the city of San Diego trolley by 10.9 miles, about $100 million per mile.
Hold on.
Great pass down.
Our federal government pays for adult summer camps.
Oh, The trolley is more bothersome to me. And at least the adult summer camp is only $20,000. Although if you're sleeping in a tent, I mean, what are you spending $20,000? Is that for the condoms? Like, what is that for? Really?
And what's the trolley for?
To go 10 more miles in San Diego.
Okay.
A mile. Yeah.
Continue.
Okay. All right. I want to read the ridiculous ones because these are ridiculous, but they're making me angry. These are funny ridiculous, and they'll also make you angry. All right. Here we go. The U.S. Air Force Office of Scientific Research conducted a study that determined the first bird on Earth most likely had black feathers. Now, I was dying to know the answer to this. So I'm really glad they took my hard-earned money and helped answer this for me. All right, here's another one.
So the first bird that ever existed had black feathers.
Allegedly, sir, allegedly. All right, another one.
And I felt
Hold on. $25,000 on a promotional tour. Now, if your federal government was spending $25,000 on a promotional tour for one person, who do you think that one person would be?
President.
Probably not the Queen, because that's not enough. But $25,000 is a respectable sum. Who would this be for? From your federal government?
President.
Your president? Oh, the Alabama watermelon queen. Come on, man. What's next? We know why bugs are attracted to light, but we do not know what they do by the light. So the federal government granted a subsidy of $65,473 to find out what bugs do by light. Now, I spent $20 on a bug zapper light, and I learned bugs just fly into the damn light. That's what they do by the light. They fly into it over and over until they get fucking electrocuted. That's what they do. Cost me $20. I don't know. What else? Yeah, this is my personal favorite just because I'm sure for the folks involved, this was a fun study to be a part of. Like the government folks, right now is where I'm going probably. The U.S. National Institutes of Health, NIH, spent $442,340 and not a penny more to study the behavior of male prostitutes in Vietnam. We got to know what these guys are doing. Suddenly, $12 billion to Ukraine sounds normal, you know, like it actually net out perfect. We spent almost $500,000 just figuring out what male prostitutes.
So-
I had to unmute my headphones for this one, man. Come on, son.
This is
Stop playing.
this.
Should I keep going? There's more. I've got like 15 more.
So this is exactly why.
The U.S. also funded a $592,000 study to explain why chimpanzees throw their own feces. These are tax dollars to you. Hard at work. Hard at work for you, for your benefit.
So this is exactly why. When I read a bill, and they're asking for extra funding,
Right, man.
I'm
Like,
This doesn't require a bill. That's the worst part. There was no legislation required to fund any of this crap. Just your regular taxes.
okay.
First of all, I want to know where the summer camp is.
Right.
We'll get to it. The Natural Science Foundation received $856,000 in funding to conduct a study to see if it is possible to train lions to walk on a treadmill. Believe it or not, it took some months,
Bro,
but they succeeded.
Speaking of lions, look up I can't remember. Look up swamp lions. I think it's from Africa.
Okay.
They're an entirely different, higher genetics now species of lion. Look these bad mamma jammas up. They are monsters. They're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster than any average lion. Because in order to get from where they hunt to where they sleep, they have to cross through a swamp. So they have built up these, like, dude, look them up. Like, Dad, look them up.
You know how they learned to cross the swamp?
Do what?
Do you know how they learned to cross the swamp now?
Oh, so you know what I'm talking about.
Maybe my search is terrible. I got a movie.
You know, we've been waterboarding all these folks in Guantanamo Bay years ago, right? Like, that was the whole thing. Like, we were torturing them. However, we did pay $750,000 to build a new soccer field for them in Guantanamo Bay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Boys to Men blew it up.
Okay. Yeah, so the swamp lion, to what Steve is saying with us before, Dan keeps going about the useless spending. Is a mountain lion like eland from the Southeast Asia.
But dude, isn't that thing like it is? Dude, look how muscular they are.
Yeah, they're kind of big.
Yeah, I'm a big dude, and
I mean, they look like lions, but they're not lions. They're like huge.
yeah, like they're bigger than average lions. Like a female version of that species, that subspecies, is bigger than an average male lion.
Can we talk more about the female version of the male prostitute? Because in China, your federal government spent $2.6 million on advertising to encourage Chinese female prostitutes to drink responsibly.
I had to mute, man. I'm sorry.
This is my new favorite segment. This is my absolute favorite segment. This is all real. Like, I could just as easily write this up, and it would be outrageous, but this is better than anything I could write.
Okay, Dan, again, where's your source at for the people to know? Where's your source, man?
This is Erie Tiger Time, where I've got this list just because they took the most outrageous things and put them together. But I went through, actually, after a conversation and all of this. So it is accurate.
Do you know why?
We also spent $27 million to teach people in Morocco how to design and create pottery.
Hey, do you know why dinosaurs don't clap?
Their arms are too short?
They're extinct.
They're dead.
We should probably allocate like $13 million to study what dinosaur prostitutes do. Thinking, for the people. Anyways, all right. I'll get more new stuff later on.
Do either of you believe that giants existed?
Giants?
Yes.
Maybe.
Based on the skeleton. Based on the skeletons they dug up, yes. It depends what type of giant are you talking about.
I'm thinking maybe 12 feet. 12 feet max, maybe.
12 feet.
Yeah.
I've seen.
For sure.
Yeah, I think I've seen one was 10 feet in height. 10 feet. I think it's a guy in India right now, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna have to look it up. He's like 9 feet tall.
It's a big dude.
So why are you bringing it up? What's up?
I believe 12 feet.
I was just curious.
Game of Thrones type giant? No. I do know people who do believe there were giants that large, but I don't, because we found no evidence. So,
see, that's my thing. Is like there's no skeletal. But here's the thing. George Washington also didn't know dinosaurs existed. So,
well, during that time, archaeologists weren't around digging up bones, so maybe that's why.
And yeah, I mean, there's a reason it's called fossil fuel. It's made from fossils.
I mean, hey,
from
we're made
dead creatures.
I mean, our bodies go to the earth as well, so we gotta look at it.
Our bodies don't go in the earth. Our bodies go into we go into a casket, which goes into a tomb.
But
I've already told everybody I know. I want to be done bad grandpa style. Roll me up in a carpet, throw me off a bridge. Save your money. Put it towards something else. Take a vacation for crying out.
Probably not going to do that. I mean, because you have children. That's kind of.
They'd probably be the ones doing it, man. My youngest is crazy. So, probably do that.
Does that come from you or the mother?
Kind of a mix there, man. Depends on what kind of crazy we're talking about.
If I said we're live, be careful what you say. Dre, on the other hand, has like 10 kids.
I know, right? That's what I heard too. 5 years ago. Like 6.
Sorry, from whom?
Huh?
From whom?
I don't know. I just wanted to know who these women I've been banging, because I tell them come back. I want some more.
Hang on. Who told you that?
Oh my God, man. Steve jokingly from college days, but in my personal life, somebody said that I had numerous of children. I'm like, where? Because I'm missing out on banging these chicks.
so stupid.
So that I'm just saying, man. I want to bang them. Come here. But other than that, yeah, man.
You like the dad from Friday. Bang, 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 bang.
I think I figured out the answer.
Yeah. So yeah, but numerous of kids, but that's another one we could talk about since society like talking about who they banging and who's not banging who. Society is so fixated on people banging each other versus where your money is going. For example, Brett Favre stole from people within confines in the state of Mississippi,
Boom.
which happens a lot with politicians. And I'm not trying to drag them through the dirt. It happens a lot. It just so happens it's Brett Favre. He was coots with a politician. But the world was wondering about a basketball coach from the Celtics who he slept with. And I'm like, who cares? He had consensual relations with 2 women.
Yeah.
Like, that's his business. Like, who cares?
Fair.
Who cares? Like, why are we so fixated who sleeps with who? But I'm about to get roasted for this. But I've seen so many YouTube videos from women saying that he's wrong. But I'm like, but what happened to these women that he's been messing with? It's a consensual relation, so he gets punished and they don't. That makes no sense.
I would have rather seen more about the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing. Yeah. Who it was, who was on the list.
That's it.
And then,
You've seen the list, man.
yeah,
You
just
seen the list?
send the FBI
You
after
seen
every
the
one of them. Oh, but they can't.
The list was,
Donald Trump, Bill Gates.
dude.
I
That
can't
list was
remember who else was
dedicated.
on there. I
That
think the
list was
Clintons were
scrubbed
on
from the
there.
internet,
Tom
man.
Hanks.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that list, Steve, was scrubbed from the internet when it was leaked out because people were upset. That list was scrubbed, and so many people took screenshots of it, and they are recirculating that list as we speak. You can find that list anywhere now,
Yeah, I mean,
but it was
they TLC'd it.
legitimately scrubbed. It was scrubbed.
Scrub is a guy, yeah.
Bill Gates. Let's talk
But we don't
him.
talk about that, though.
How did he bounce back so quickly?
I'm sorry, Dan. What was that?
Bill Gates.
'Cause he-
How did he bounce back from all that so quickly? Because he's kind of a sack of shit.
Look at all the land. Look at how much land he's bought.
But how much did he have to spend on PR firms to get him back into the public's good graces?
Nothing. COVID. he became a spokesperson for COVID. He got off old Fauci's and he put him on TV. I mean,
I don't believe that, but
Oh man,
I understand people do.
I mean, he was sitting there promoting the shot and everything, and I mean,
I'm referring more to like being a sexual predator in the workplace, which he was. How did he get off with a free pass on that? Like, not right.
hold on. How did Dan Snyder get a free pass on it? How did Gruden get a free pass on it? You know how they got a free pass on it? They changed the name of the Washington Redskins to the Washington Commanders because their hands got caught in the cookie jar, and they were like, "Oh, we need to save face. Let's go ahead and change the name." Something I said I'd never do, but we're going to go ahead and change the name. Which, at this point, I don't care. I just want to watch my team play football. I don't care what their name is. It is what it is. So, I mean, it wasn't changed because of appropriate reasons. He changed it because he got caught doing something he shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah.
agreed. And that's what happens in society. Your favorite person, the TV builds up, get caught up. Let's talk about this story instead to get people's mind off of that primary story.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got to look. FedEx was getting ready to pull the plug on the name and everything. They were done.
Well, and I mean, I don't know. I'm torn on that one. I'm actually torn on that one. So here's the thing. Back when they were under their old name, and I was head of marketing. This was back, 2014. It's been a long time. But we actually had a partnership with them, and I got so many calls from people literally living throughout the United States during that time, telling me what a horrible human being I was. These people would look me up on the internet to figure out who the head of marketing was for the place over there. They'd call me, tell me what a horrible human being I was for sponsoring that kind of racism and everything else. And there's a part of me that's like, you know what, the name probably did need to change. However, calm down. Like I don't control the name of the team. It just happens to be our closest local NFL team. We have a partnership with them. That's what I would explain to these people. Like I don't control the name. I'm not approving or disapproving of the name. It is simply a way frankly, for me to make more money. Through the business. That's it. It's strictly commerce. Like I hear you. You could probably be calling them and not me if you have an issue with their name. Yeah.
Drake.
Discord keeps disconnecting us. It's like it randomly will disconnect for like 60 seconds. It's weird, man.
I wonder why.
I don't know. Dude, my internet connection is fine. That's what I thought at first. Is my internet went out.
Because you're frozen now too, but I can hear you.
Oh, yeah. See, it's something weird with Discord. Am I moving again? Oh, now you're frozen. Son of a.
Can you see me, Dre? I can't hear you, Dre.
I muted my headphones. My fault.
Yeah,
I can still see you.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on tonight. I don't know why it's acting funny.
It depends on his ISP. Maybe he's oversaturated in this area.
That's possible.
You know what I mean? But I mean, dang. I mean, we pretty much covered all, if not everything, tonight on the podcast. I was hoping Lee would join in.
This is great. Blah blah blah
Right.
blah. I mean, we could always try out teams or something like that, but I don't know what's free, what's not free. This is just a free option, and
Yeah.
up until tonight, it wasn't an issue. It seems like it's on Dan's side, and he just needs to do better.
I should put those 2 computer science degrees to work and actually have some level of competence. But
Dan, and who's your ISP?
Comcast, and I pay for like the
Hold on.
top. They've got like 1,200 megabits or something like that.
Are you doing this on Wi-Fi right now?
Yeah. No. Jesus.
So
it's 2022. It's 2022.
It doesn't matter.
Yes.
RJ 45.7, not the 5E. That's dead.
Yeah.
Not 6.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's why.
Router to your computer.
No. Here's why this is Discord, man. Here's why this is Discord. I'm on Teams. I'm on Zoom. I am on every other video conferencing software all freaking day long and don't have this issue.
Do you have the hold on? Do you have the video popped out into a separate window?
No.
Okay, I can't help you, Dan.
Are you running any other services in the background?
No. I mean, except a web browser, but that's it. I think Discord's just having server issues this evening because Dre was disconnected, I was disconnected.
I wasn't.
I don't know. In fairness, I'm not too familiar with Discord, and it could always be user error. So.
See, Steve is part of the Confederacy, so that's why they're looking out for him.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, he's farther north than me, so I don't know why it's working better for him. And not, I feel like I can have platinum level service down here in the Richmond area. Right?
He's so stupid.
Hey man, I gotta bring back college days, homie.
Bro, my family fought for both sides. And first of all, settle down.
Oh, for those who don't know, who may know, Steve does have some lineage to the Confederacy, and no, he does not have some of their insane values.
Oh my God!
But I can't speak for you. You can talk for yourself.
The Monument Avenue statues are now Steve's backyard.
No, it's not.
Just kidding, man. I'm just kidding.
First of all,
I am just kidding. I promise.
Yo.
First of all, we have family that fought for both sides.
Right.
I did.
It's just the way it was. I'm from Virginia. My family's from Virginia for a long time. Now the Irving side, we've dated that back to a point where we believe we found the guy who came over from Scotland, which was right about the same time as the Battle of Culloden, when the Scots lost pretty heavily. And at that point in time, the English were like, you need to get off the land. Like, you need to disperse. And a lot of the Scots were sent to America, and they either came in through Nova Scotia or they came in through New York. So I think I have found the man that came over, and it's right around the time of Battle of Culloden. But I have to do the swab to figure out. And with Clan Irwin, or Irvine, whatever, they want the males to do it. That way they can get a direct lineage line. So, my people have always, fought against tyranny, whether it be right or wrong. So, yeah, we fought the Revolution, Culloden, Civil War, War of 1812. Yeah. Vietnam, North Korea, World War II. Yeah.
It's crazy. You would think, right, from my name that I'm probably mostly French or more than anything else. So I took one of those tests 2 years ago. And it was kind of interesting. So I'm only about 6% French. Majority, like over 70%, was a mixture of Scots, Irish, and Welsh.
It's crazy.
New to me.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy when you do one of those DNA tests and
Yeah.
what you grab from your parents compared to your siblings.
Yeah. It's one of my brothers was mostly like Turkish and things like that, like completely different from me. It was very weird. Very weird.
Like I'm very Scott English man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes. I'm from the Caucasus Mountains.
So what you're saying is you part Viking.
I would love to find that out, yes. Because if I found that out, I would literally carry an axe with me all the time. Oh, cool story. So me and a couple of my buddies, we went down to Richmond, and he one of my buddies was moving to Louisiana, and he's like, let's get together one night. I was like, cool, what do you want to do? Like, well, let's go axe throwing. I'm like, bro, never done it. Well, I used to do it in my front yard. I had a hatchet. I used to just throw it for fun. First of all, I was like 8 years old with a hatchet in my front yard throwing it.
All right.
That wouldn't happen today.
No.
Yeah.
So
in today's
So we go axe throwing and we're keeping score, and I let them go first, right? And they're like, oh yeah. So like they ding it off the wall, it falls. Next guy dings it off the wall, falls. So then I'm third up, so I get 2 shots because they both threw 2, and then I get to throw 2. So I step up, and I'm just like, bullseye. I'm like, bullseye. I grab the next one, I put it right beside the other one. I'm like, bro, the entire night, I was just knocking it down. They're like, have you done this before? I was like, never. It's in my blood. My lineage has been throwing axes at people for generations.
Steve, that doesn't look good, man. Throwing axes at people. It's not cool.
Let's go. Yeah, I mean, awesome. I also found out I'm a little piece Italian too, so I don't look Italian.
The biggest surprise to me was finding out I was some of the rest of it was made up of European Jew, and then the rest of it was like a hodgepodge of like Central and whatnot Europe. But pretty fascinating.
Hey Dre, so when you looked at your lineage,
yes, I'm the king of axe throwing.
I'd crush you.
just want to show you that.
Man.
I just want to show you that because before Steve asked the question, I went to a new job party for my former coworker, and axe throwing was the activity. And like Steve's story, I'd never been axe throwing in my life. Never. Crushed everybody in 3 games.
Yeah, you freaking your heritage just fucking came out in you. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Steve. You know what? I ain't gonna say this on camera. What you gonna ask, man?
I mean, all of your blood. I mean, you're just telling us that your bloodline was Filipino and Native Americans. I mean, you're just,
Filipino, Native American, part of Africa,
I mean, you're just like,
and it's Polynesian.
yeah, you're
You
just,
didn't say Filipino, did you?
oh, Polynesian.
Huh?
I'm sorry.
You didn't say Filipino, did you?
No, I did not say that.
Oh,
I said Polynesian.
I'm sorry. I misheard
Total
you.
difference.
It's my grandfather,
Oh.
Native American and Polynesian,
Which-
and my grandma's mostly African.
Okay, so I got a question for you.
Yeah.
How much Native American was your grandfather?
That I'm still learning, because from Wyoming to parts of Colorado, the Westerners that I communicate with, they communicate with Ken Whisenhunt as well, from the coach of the NFL, because he's part of that lineage as well, which is insane.
Because
They knew my grandfather from the East Coast, his family.
one of my technicians actually carries a card. He's got the native card that he carries with him. I don't know the exact term what it's called. But it allows him to get on to the reservation. And I think he's like more than a 16th or so, but he's able to get on the res.
Honestly, I would love for my mom to go do that again, because being that she had grandma and granddad in her, genetics, blah. It would be great to see the percentage just to get a baseline of granddad.
I got you. That'd be pretty sweet.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's why I want to do it, because like, dude, I don't really have anybody left. Like, all my grandfather died in 1972. My dad passed away in 2008. So like, I don't have anybody of the older generation still alive that could tell me anything.
But you still have you, so you can use you for a baseline.
Well, yeah, but that's hard. So like, if I did the 23andMe, like, I would need to do the broad one, the big one, so
That's what I'm saying.
that way I can attach to everybody and see. Dude, I could be like fifth cousins to someone in Scotland. Because you tell me I'm fifth cousins to someone in Scotland, bro, we're first cousins. We're family. We're becoming BFFs.
If I ever do a DNA test and I find out I'm related to Steve, now I see why we got in trouble so much.
It's fucking awesome. Find out that you really are the yin to my yang.
Oh my God.
Ebony, ivory, live in perfect harmony.
But but yeah, it was good to know that you can go to like a scientist in biology that determine these things. We didn't do the 23andMe. That's what I'm saying. So it costs a decent penny to
I
get
don't want
these.
to do a more formal test. If you can kind of find who that was, I would actually go for that.
I have
Yeah,
the
no doubt.
documents in my room because my mom's. You know what I'm saying? I hold a document. I can give you the laboratory that did it and everything.
Perfect.
Yeah,
That'd be perfect.
let us
DC.
know. Yeah. Well, shit, dude, I'm in DC all the time now, so yeah, let me know.
Yeah, I'm for real, Steve. That way, if you say you do this right, you're the baseline. I know your loved one's not here anymore, but you're technically the baseline.
Yeah. And
So
and luckily I got little man too, so like, if
yeah,
there's two of us,
Yeah.
Or
Mhm.
3.
yeah, I can definitely do that for you guys.
so I appreciate it.
Or 3, Daddy.
Hmm. But yeah,
No.
it sucks that Lee didn't show up. He sucks. So if we betted if he showed up or
Oh,
not, we
wow.
would have lost money.
Oh wow, like
Um,
why you get so much fucking hate, dude?
why is that hate, man?
Like
How is that
he
hate?
said he was busy. He said he had things to do, and you're just like, oh my god.
I didn't say, "Oh my God, son." That's not how I talk.
He and I both said we'd be free this Monday. We came just as close to guaranteeing it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, I jumped through hoops to make this happen.
I appreciate it, Steve.
And
If Dan don't tip you, I appreciate you. All right.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because me and Steve, we have a bond. We were almost kicked off the school twice. All right?
Together.
Dre was.
Together.
Dre was almost kicked out.
No. Yeah, that's right. I'm black. He's white, so he would have stayed. I'd get kicked out.
I wasn't going there. I was just saying, Mr. Pope liked me more than you. That's where I was going with
Yeah,
that.
what's crazy? Mr. Pope is black. You would think he'd look up for the
Why
black
do you
guy.
keep bringing up color, bro? Like,
It's got to be a reaction, man. Real talk.
like it's unnecessary.
Daddy, stop.
Dude, I do that to get your reaction, to be honest with
Like, you can just say he's a good
It works.
person.
Every time it works.
You can say
Every
Huh?
time.
he's a good person. He's a good friend of ours. Like, you don't have
Is he really?
to, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I saw him for the first time in a long time, and I was walking down the hallway. He's like, "Steven, how are you?" I was like, "Hey!" Like he remembers everyone.
Yeah, he does.
He and I didn't get on so well, and there were reasons for that. But yeah, but that's good. I'm glad you got along with us.
It's because
That's
Dre and I made him laugh. So
Yeah.
Dre,
Maybe that's why we didn't.
good. Great.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Steve. I'm sorry.
Where you at
well,
there?
I mean, we pretty much just said whatever the fuck we wanted to.
We did. Literally, we did.
Mr.
And
Yeah.
I think knowing that he liked both of us, we didn't get kicked out. So,
Yeah.
well, mostly him, not me. But if it was me by myself, that I got kicked out. You know.
I mean, I was surprised I didn't get kicked out when I threatened the teacher. So,
Right.
Who'd you threaten?
I don't know if I can say it. Cazzarellas.
Sorales.
Everybody threatened him.
Oh no, not like I did.
Steve was about to.
Dan, I never told you the story.
What's that?
I never told you the story.
I think you did. Actually, it slipped my mind. I think you did.
Yo, I got a story for y'all too before we get off. But go ahead, Steve.
No, I mean that was like right when my dad was sick, and
Yeah.
he claimed that I was cheating, and I explained to him he needed to walk away from me as soon as he possibly could. You know,
He did.
Yeah.
I was there.
or I'd beat the shit out of him.
I was there.
Open a dictionary, or the phrase or whatever, little man or little man syndrome. Like that's the picture that would pop up.
100%.
Yeah. No, I couldn't stand that dude.
Hi, Dre.
He's about the only one that I just could not stand.
Nobody like Mr. Castaveras. And I'm not saying he doesn't know his shit, but to your point and Steve's point, I guess it's the little man syndrome. Because your son, he was wilding, if I can say that in this context. He was wilding. So I would never mess with him.
He gave us a whole exam one time of shit we hadn't even covered yet, and then told us when we confronted him. What was her name? Catherine. I can't remember her last name at the time, but she ended up marrying another dude we went to school with. Anyway, dead. I'm not going to say their last name, but you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So we confronted him, and there was a couple other people. I can't remember who.
Do I know them?
But the two of us were like the ringleaders.
Hold
And
on.
we're like, we haven't been taught this crap yet.
on, do I know them?
Probably.
Hold on, I'm sorry. My daughter was talking to me. I missed the whole start.
Yeah.
Start.
Do you remember? I don't want to share their last names, but we went to school with somebody named Catherine, and then we went to school with somebody named Jed. The two of them are married now.
No, I don't know them. Okay, continue.
So we confronted him and basically told him, like, look, we haven't learned this yet. So why is the entire exam covering? He's like, oh, well, suck it up. You know, in so many words, that was his response to us was basically, suck it up. That you have it now, so you have to take it. It was like the midterm or something too.
But
Audrey, finish
We
up.
may or may not have locked him out of the classroom while we took the exam. But
what's up, Dan?
Okay, come here.
say we may or may not have actually locked him out of the classroom. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I have been having microphone issues.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, if you just got a headset, then you'd be cool. You know,
Right.
you'd be like the rest of us.
I mean, mine. You know, Steve recommendation. I spent $25 on Amazon, so you can spend.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Actually,
I didn't know that.
you know, I'm kind of on the frugal side. They're actually higher brand new. These are like refurbished.
Not I don't want anybody else's ear cry, so I'm going to buy brand new. But
Hey, my man. So on a lighter note, you know, I promise you this story. Steve want me to tell you this story for the longest time, and I'm gonna try to make it short and sweet.
yeah,
The
and you've been trying to call me, and I've been busy.
The infamous Charlie Gibbs story about us in North Philly.
Oh, you see last name now. Look him up, folks. Look him up.
Me.
So he wanted to go to North Philly with me to get cheesesteaks. I told him about Max's Steaks, and I told him Broad Street is rough in North Philly, and I don't really traverse it by myself. My cousins who live there, they pretty much back me. Real talk. It's gotten a little bit better since Bill Cosby. I know that's not a good name to throw around right now, but he invested most of his money in Temple University, and around Temple, like the streets and everything look great. But as soon as you pass the hospital by Temple, the road goes to you know what, so you know where the money is at.
Mhm.
You don't see the white girls running down the street no more in shorts.
Because they're roofies. They're roofies in the coffee room. That's why.
So, but Charlie wanted to go to North Filthy. I said, my man, it's like 3.5
Why?
hours.
Why?
I don't know, man. He wanted to go get a steak, and I was like, my man, if you want to go, you driving. He was like, I'll do it. I said, all right, bet. I said, I'll tell you what, I haven't been up there in like maybe 3 years at that point.
You go from
I
Richmond.
said, huh?
You go from Richmond.
From Richmond to North Philly, grabbed the steak and came back.
Huh.
Yeah, he drove. So the point of contention of this story, which Steve I think loves to this day, was Charlie's initial reaction and his behavior. So we left my house like 7 in the morning.
Okay.
We got to North Filthy by 10, right? So of course we're early because Max is open at 11.
I had no idea it was that close in the drive, actually.
Yeah,
Dude, the drive was-
Philly's not far.
It's not
I had
far,
no
son.
idea.
It's
I
not
was
far.
thinking 5, 6 hours.
It's not
Huh.
far, son. It's
Huh.
not far. But we got there, and Charlie looking like Starsky and Hutch in his outfit. I'm like, yo, dude, you sticking like a sore thumb. I'm rocking the regular shorts with a t-shirt on. Like, of course, you know I'm black, so they won't mess with me. Charlie looking like he stepped out of a magazine with shades on, like he's undercover. Like, dude, and you got your arms crossed like this, face red on the sidewalk. And I'm like, dude, calm down. Like every Vic that walked by just looking at him like this, you know, staring at him like, what's up, sizing him up. And he's getting scared. So I'm like, let me separate myself from this dude. So I walked back a little bit. I was talking to the dude in front of the store. He had like a few Lucy's. He's smoking. So, you know, I'm chopping up with him, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
Charlie tried to come over and talk. And the dude looked at Charlie and was like, shut the F up. You're not from here. And I didn't back Charlie up. I ain't gonna front. I was like, you on your own. But so
I don't care. Doesn't matter. What do you do in your little car? Your little beep car?
huh?
Your little beep car?
Beep beep. He should have hung his horn. They would have left him alone.
I hope
You know,
I hope he listens
Yeah.
to this.
Pause for a second.
but also real talk. I was like, dude, we can't look like we have money up there because on the block, stick up kids have their own sections of the block. See what I'm saying? And especially if you
I
got
don't.
Virginia plates on your car, they do. Steve, this
It's
take it
a
from me.
little bit like the mafia, Steve.
Oh,
It's not. Huh?
I'm fucking with
Right?
you. Dan,
Oh, okay.
Dan, I'm fucking with you.
So check me, right? So Charlie drove his Mustang, which is not a bad looking car, but it ain't raggedy either. And of course, you know, I ain't scared of, but I told him, you're gonna attract people because of your car.
Yeah.
You go into an area where their median income is like $5 an hour. And cats on the block set up and they see you, especially Virginia plates, especially with Pent, they're gonna think we're trying to take over their block. I said, dude, let's park over here and we'll just walk. It's gonna be like a half a mile.
What was
We'll
he?
walk to Max's.
Was he scared?
Huh?
Was he scared?
Of course Charlie was scared. I'm serious.
Oh wow.
Scared to walk? Or
He
just
was
scared to
scared.
be there and general?
No, he was scared. And anyway, we passed by 2 blocks and every cat was looking at this car as we drove by, and I was like, ugh, you know, to myself, like we're attracting too much attention. And of course, Charlie was just, you know, instead of relaxing, he's looking around like he's paranoid. I'm like, dude, chillax, man. Like, chill. Because the cat's looking in the car at us because, again, Virginia plates,
Uh-huh.
we're not from there.
Can I
So-
press pause for just a second? Can I press pause? What do
Huh?
we know that? Do we know what he? How did he expect this to go? If he got up there and then was scared, how is it supposed to be different in his mind?
Oh,
Do we know?
hold on. I think
Well, no, I want to know. Just how he frame it.
I think this is the moment in time that he went from Republican to Democrat.
Yo, they scared him. They scared him shitless, man. So I told him, let's park that car here by Temple, and we will walk up the sidewalk. We're gonna go by the stick-up kids. You got little dope fiends on the sidewalk. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy because at a stoplight, he didn't listen to me. He want to keep going. He want to park at Max's, which I was like, all right, do your thing, your car. He was looking at this dude banging on this girl's door, and he forced his way in the girl's house. I was like, that girl owe him money, or they about to get it in. And I'm thinking that to myself, And he's like, "Oh my God, look at that! We gotta help them." I'm like, "Dude,
Seriously? Serious? What is he gonna do? What is he gonna do?
He's gonna honk.
you trying to get me shot, man? Like,
He's consider himself killed. What is he gonna do?
He's gonna honk. He's gonna me.
so I told you at the beginning part of him just looking like this on the sidewalk, face red and shit, looking like he looked like what's that Hawaii 5-0 show? I can't think of that character's name.
Hawaii 5-0.
With the
Oh, Magnum PI.
Magnum PI, thank you. He looked like that cat with the shades, like this. I'm like, dude, calm down. Like these cats ain't gonna do nothing to you, you know. But he's like this.
Unless you're looking like that. Unless you're looking scared.
Yeah, son, you attracted more attention to yourself doing that. So I'm trying to get him to calm down because I understand he's not used to that type of environment, like Steve alluded to. But anyway, like I said, cats are looking at him like this, sizing him up, and the dude said, "Shut the F up. Nobody's talking to you. You're not from here." And I couldn't help my man. So I like, dude, get up and smack him. So I mean, hey, it is what it is. Hopefully, Charles around. Huh?
You say he did what?
No. So me and the dude was talking about Broad Street. We got talking about Beanie Siegel and stuff because you know Beans, he's from Philly, North 50th especially. We talking about Beans, the rapper. So Charlie walked over to where we was at because again, I walked away from Charlie because I'm like, dude, wanted to pop him in the face and just check his pocket.
Dre would have backed me.
Huh?
Dre would have backed me.
Steve, I already talked to you about that, and this is on record.
Steve, you would have bought up there acting like that.
I don't think Steve will go this stuck like he's scared though. You know what I mean? Like,
no, Steve would blend in. He'd just be like, whatever. It's supposed to be.
So
I love Philadelphia.
I mean, not necessarily blend in, especially in that area where Max's is located.
But with his accent,
I don't think
accent-wise.
That's what I'm saying. Steve will come off as like he put it off a persona that he's this type of person. That ain't Steve. That's what I'm alluding to.
I mean, you're sitting here fucking saying that I'm fucking Confederate flag waving person. I mean, I don't know anymore. I mean,
man, you told me you like General Lee and Abraham Lincoln is a traitor to the country.
I like them all.
Did you really?
Dude, have you seen Abraham Lincoln? He was a horrible person. He was a horrible person.
How?
We mean how?
The emancipation was actually free of the slaves. So whatever. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but that's just history.
It was a step. It was a step. He gets too much credit.
Hold on. Yeah. He didn't even want to keep them here. He wanted to send them back.
No, that's what the emancipation was about.
Yeah, no.
He wanted to send them.
Like he wasn't like no.
I mean, Dan, it's real talk, man. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at
no. I know all of this. But however, I mean, for me, Winston Churchill was a raging racist. Stack of shit on a personal level. But the net good that he did for the world, he was a key player in helping to stop World War II. I think sometimes you have to take the good with the bad, and it's a lot of bad. I'm not saying it's okay. But I can't. It's a little hard for me to sit here and say Abraham Lincoln was a horrible person.
I mean, Robert Lee probably wouldn't have lost if Stonewall Jackson hadn't gotten killed.
I don't know. I can't. Yeah.
No, but I mean, and Grant, he was playing chess.
I'm not talking about Grant or Lee or whatever. I'm talking about Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, I know, but I'm talking about like
he was loopy as shit. But it's hard for me to sit here and say he was a bad person. I don't know.
I mean, I like all the generals, and I like the history and the story of it because, like, I mean, look at all the generals that were before Grant that just could not match. Couldn't. What? Nice, sweetie. Like, they had the hardest time controlling. I mean, they were running roughshod through all of them, and then Grant stood up and was like, you know what, enough's enough, and he backed Lee down, which Lee hadn't really lost even before the Civil War. Like he was a winner. And if the Civil War hadn't happened, Lee probably would have been a president.
Yeah.
Well, the Civil War killed that for him.
I have no issue with him either. I think it's a good illustration of the same principle. I don't have an issue with Lee.
A moment in time ruined his entire legacy.
I don't think it did. He lost with grace. He lost with grace. I don't think it ruined his legacy at all. Actually,
No, but I'm
he
saying,
fought for what he believed in, whether somebody looks at that and believes it's flawed or not. He fought for what he believed in. He was principled, and he lost with grace.
but if the Civil War,
I think that's a fantastic legacy.
well, I'm saying if the Civil War never happened, he probably would have been a president.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We all have things like that. Our lives go. We have minimal control over the direction that they go, as much as we'd like to think differently. And I think the part of humanity that can be really awesome is what we do with what we have, in terms of the life that we're given.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of honor in it. I think there's a lot of honor in Abraham Lincoln for faults notwithstanding for different reasons. I think keeping the country together was more valuable than allowing it to break apart. And so that's what I look at with somebody like Lincoln.
I just didn't like the way and what he was trying to do to keep said country together.
I agree. Look at Lyndon Johnson. He was a sack of shit, but he did a lot to advance civil rights.
He killed Kennedy.
Sack of shit, though. Complete sack of shit.
Did he?
He was a flying ball, man. Lyndon Johnson was a flying ball.
Signing bills that were pushed through isn't really him doing something. They were already going through the process.
Go ahead and refuse to sign them. I'm not saying he's a great person. I'm saying he's a slime ball.
I mean, Kennedy was trying to get us out of Vietnam, and they killed him.
Oh, I agree. I think Kennedy would have been a fantastic president for some time to come.
But to knock this story out, we got sidetracked. Hold on. I'm trying to knock it out for you guys. So, Max is finally in the open. This is the part that Steve likes the most.
Okay.
So, a dope fiend just stormed the shop, right? Charlie, I got to stand up for this. You got to get what I'm. Hold on. This is Charlie. No lie. This is the corner. All right? Hold on. This is Charlie.
No.
No lie. On my mom's. I hate to say it like that. On 5 cents. How about that? That was Charlie when the dope fiend stormed the shop. So the cats, behind the register, they tightened them up. They stomped them, whatever, and they threw them out the store. I mean, it is what it is, right? It happens. Right? Does dope fiend stormed it?
Because if I see somebody standing in a corner like that who clearly doesn't belong, I know what I would do.
Yo,
I would beat the crap out of him.
No, hold on. And it happened again. The dope fiend came through the other door.
Never going to Philly again to see it.
Came back again. No lie. This is Charlie. No lie. Hold on.
No.
That was Charlie.
Nothing says I've got a fucking target on me like that.
Yo. So
I'm not looking up. I'm just thinking about my business.
So the workers tightened them up again. They stomped them. They tightened them up again, and they threw him out the store.
Hold on.
So the dude came back.
Yeah,
I told you he came back. So they tightened him up the first time, and the second time he ran through the other door. That's what I was saying. He ran through the other door, and they tightened him up again.
Hold on. We need to get him on here so we can get it from his point of view.
I think that's fantastic.
I'm going to end this story right here. I'm going to jump this part and give you the other part real quick. His own wife called him out.
Yeah.
His own
Charlie's
wife.
wife.
His own wife. She was like,
that was the third thing.
His wife, Jamie, she said it herself, man. Charlie came home, shook up, and told me what happened. That's exactly what she said. But anyway, he trying to put me on the spot because the lady behind the register was like, "Baby, are you okay? Da 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 da." And he was like, "Oh, I'm good. I'm good. My boy right here, he's a Navy SEAL." I'm like, "Don't say that shit." You know what I mean? I'm not a SEAL. First of all, I'm not a SEAL. I'm a frogman. Second of all, you say shit like that, people want to try you, right?
Ew.
You're this big dude, ashy knuckles. Who the SEAL in here? Who the SEAL? I'm gonna F him up. I'm like, oh my god, man!
No.
I said it just like that to myself.
Did
Oh
he,
my
did
god!
you, at that point, did he realize I should shut the fuck up, or did he double down and like point to you and like this guy?
No, he didn't double down. He didn't double
Okay.
down.
Dude.
At that point, I was like,
Huh.
this.
It's like from years ago in Chappelle's show.
To
When
make it
keep it real goes wrong. And it's like, at that moment, Charlie realized
to make it
that
worse,
it's like he can keep it real, or he can walk away.
the lady that sold me the hoagie, you know what I mean? She said, in the large for the seal. I was like, yo, what are you doing?
We
man?
definitely need to get him on here one night so we can.
We need to get him on here.
So we can hit.
Because he denies that story. I did screenshots of that story again and sent it to
How did
Steve.
he deny it? What is there to deny?
So Dan, for some reason, I think Charlie thinks I hate him now.
Yo, it was so bad. Look, I
Devil's
had this,
advocate, from Charlie's perspective, making fun of him live. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
hey Dan.
He was
I
at my
added
wedding.
But it's worth it.
Steve.
Hold on.
I added Steve. Not sorry, Steve. Dan. I added Steve to that call group with Steve to read the messages in which Charlie was denying.
Hold on. Dan.
He told his own life.
Dan,
But he told his own life.
Dan, he was invited to my wedding. Like I like Charlie. I always have.
Really?
Yeah, him and Dre both were at my wedding.
I don't think I knew you were that close to him. At one point.
Oh man, no,
Probably not now.
no. Me, Dre, and
Probably
Charlie
not
used to talk all the time.
Did not know that.
Yeah, then
Well,
then politics got into it, and then he just started honking that horn.
I mean,
Right. Shut up, peasant. Shut up, peasant. Don't talk about my farm and my Philly trip.
look, man, like real talk, and we get on another subject, man. And Steve is not wrong about, because at one point in time we were trying to start another podcast with some other people's too as well. It didn't really materialize.
Seen it 2020, I guess, when that one kind of fizzled out or it just didn't take off. I remember.
Yeah.
Actually, it was earlier than that, actually.
Okay.
But
Okay.
but the long story short, to what Steve is saying, it's like you let politics divide you. You know, me and Steve don't agree on, I'll say 60% of the stuff, but we still cool. Like that makes no sense.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't give a
Because I
shit.
think we all want ultimately the same thing.
I
We
look
might
at
agree or disagree on how to get there, but we all want the
Correct.
ultimate
Because
same thing.
I look at the character of the person and their behavior. I don't look at their political beliefs or what they do in private. I don't care. It's none of my business.
Well, because the thing is, we all have different life experiences, and that drives some of what we believe.
I mean, one day
But it doesn't
I mean,
make who's good and who's bad.
I mean-
That's just something.
one day, we may talk about my youth and what happened, and it can explain some shit. But
Yeah.
I mean, Dre knows.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't good. It was pretty fucked up.
It was, man.
So
No, Steve, I think very good dude. Whenever I got you on here, it happened. I don't know.
But yeah, Dan, the fiend ran into the shop twice. It got tightened up twice. Charlie the entire time stayed in the corner. Like, imagine me white as Steve. No offense, I'm not trying to be funny. Imagine me white as Steve, blood red. That's Charlie. No lie.
Yeah.
No lie.
Somebody's at my door. Hang on, bear with me.
Oh, Dan got his date going. We're gonna wrap this up. But Steve, man, you should have been there. That's all I have to say, man.
Well,
like you would have seen exactly.
dude,
what
I
was talking
love
about.
Philadelphia, man. Like I love the way the city's laid out, and we went there a couple years ago for a concert. I can't even remember the name of the venue. It's an old theater. It's in downtown Philly. Like it was gorgeous.
Like I've been to 3 car shows there at the Wachovia Center.
Hold on.
You know, of course, you know, I went to comic convention there, PhillyCon, you know, and you know, got some fam there. Even though I only went to Philadelphia twice to visit fam. And that's how I figured out, I knew about Maxi Steaks. So that's in North Filthy. That's not like Geno's and stuff like that. Nah, man, that's straight
No, we went to the Met.
straight cheesesteaks. And if for people that's listening, and for you too, Steve, if you ever seen the movie Creed with
Yeah,
I forgot that dude's name.
Michael B. Jordan.
That could be Jordan.
Really?
Thank
You forgot Michael Jordan?
Of course, man. He don't know me. Max's Stakes was featured in that movie twice.
Oh wow!
So Sylvester Stallone shot it in that area.
Now we went to the Met a few years ago. That was pretty awesome.
Okay.
That was a pretty awesome venue.
Okay.
So I guess
Sweet.
Dan is gone. Oh, there. Oh, he's got.
Yeah.
There it is.
I mean, we could wrap up soon.
All right,
You know, some of
all right, Dan.
that way Dan could.
Dan, you have anything else since you keep leaving us?
Not really. Not today. Not today. I think Russia's a good topic, but that's going to take some time. We should save that for next time.
We need to get Leo on here.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
so we can get his full-fledged libertarian view.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, because we have like a highly socialist with Dan.
No. I am honest to God. I am what a conservative would have been 20 years ago. I'm not even that far left. It's just appalling how things have moved on both sides to the extreme and where that leaves. I still believe there's 70 or 80% of us in the middle who don't have a home. And I think most of our viewpoints, if we really sit down and dive into them, are probably very similar, and we want the same things. And I don't think there's a spot for people like that. And I think it's a majority of the population, but we have very loud people on either end. It's crazy. I think my basic philosophy is close to libertarianism, except for gun rights and really except for gun rights, honestly. But I think people should be free to do whatever they want as long as it's not hurting anybody else.
You don't like guns?
I don't dislike guns. I think we need stricter rules, and that's probably another topic for some. I think we delved into that maybe in our first.
Oh, we can have that conversation.
Yeah. I'm here for it. Otherwise, I would probably call myself a libertarian. But that's the biggest thing I don't see eye to eye with most libertarians.
Dre's registered Tea Party.
I believe it. Who's the Texas guy?
I'm the only black guy in the Tea Party.
Mhm.
Oh, snap.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, fellas.
All right.
Chat. Let's do it again. Not another 2 months, but
Yeah.
let's do it again.
Well,
No, that's the perfect. That's awesome.
well, like I said,
Cool.
the whole premise is I'm gonna try to get more than just the four of us. If I can get 5
Yeah.
or 6 guys, that way, whoever's available on a Monday night can just hop in, and that way it changes the conversation.
Yeah.
Depending on who's here, that way it's not the same old every week. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I was gonna try to get a couple more for next Monday, so that way we can get different viewpoints, different conversations, see where it leads us.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm with it. All right, my peoples. Have a good night.
All right, guys.
All right.
Later.
Okay.
Sure.